Hey, sorry, apologies. This is part two of the video. Unfortunately, just cut out there on part one, so I'll get straight back into it. Apologies for any interruption through your viewing experience. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure what happened there, but it just decided to stop recording. So this will be the second part of the video. Hopefully, guys can tune into both. But anyway, straight back into it. We're up to race number 4. Of the 1,000 metre race, the Longrow Plate. Look at the speed map for this one. Very nice race as well. Uh, Absolutely Foxy, Nitrous, Supreme Leader, and Destination look to be the lead horses. With a couple of new ones on the block that we might have to have a bit of a look in, like a Snitsari, who's showed a bit of pace in the trial, so it might be up towards the speed as well, with Mystic Vein also another one of those. Look, for me, I'm going to land with number 6, Ticket to Ride here. I thought it was a good enough run last time out behind Rulership, who I've got on top in one of the main races down in the Blue Diamond Preludes at Caulfield. So if I'm going to put it on top, I've really got to give a good shout to Ticket to Ride, who I think at the each way value, I mean, $4.50, $75 the place, you can definitely have a play each way on it. So I think it's going to be the one to beat. Has had the run on a soft track before for a placing, so has seen this surface before, which I think is really key, especially with these 2-year-old runners. So I'm going to have it on top, ahead of number 2, Destination, who was really good on debut at Kembla Grange on that occasion. Karen McAvoy sticks with the ride, but I think $3.80 is a little bit short for it, so I wouldn't want to be too keen on playing it at $3.80. I can see this horse potentially drifting, but do give it a good enough chance. Nitrous comes in for second. It comes with the best form, really. I mean, you're looking at the Magic Million 7th placing a couple of starts ago. Last time out, it finished behind Prague, and Global Quest, and that's been a real hot form race. Prague's been well spec'd in the Golden Slipper market, so I think this horse got a really good chance to win as well. And I think $8 and $2.60 the place is a bit of overs for that horse. And another horse I think's got a great chance is number 7, Supreme Idea, for Anthony Freeman. He's brought this horse up here off the back of a 7th last time out behind a Beautiful Night at Caulfield. Again, similarly, very good form lines. I see a Beautiful Night and Fresh, the two main chances in the fillies race for the Blue Diamond Prelude down at Caulfield. So the fact that Andy Freeman's decided to take this horse up here, for me, is an interesting move, and I think it might be a great chance. Look, I've left out number 10, Fall on a Star, who was really well spec first up at Randwick, where it failed on a soft track. And for me, that's my only concern, that it comes onto that soft surface again. How's it going to handle it this time around? And barrier 11's a bit of a concern, but I do concede this horse has a lot of ability, and I think she'll be winning some good races. Just not sure if Saturday will be her day. But recap the numbers for me. Look, number 6, Ticket to Ride's one for me, ahead of number 2, Destination in for second. In for third, number 1, Nitrous, who I think is a great each way value. And in for fourth, number 7, Supreme Idea. Move on to race number 5 now. It's the Inglis Millennium, and look at the speed map here. A massive field, 18 runners to be exact. So we're going to see a lot of speed in this race, and the speed horses look to be Slice of Heaven, Prime Star, Absolutely Foxy will be up there as well, I would say, and Bella Nipotina and Charming Pat usually like to get forward in their runs. So look, not a whole lot of pace on paper, but I do see generally in these big fields you do tend to see a little bit of speed come into it. But look, for me, Salsabille's $1.45, but I definitely couldn't recommend playing. I mean, the wet conditions do help. Obviously, it smashed them on a heavy surface last time out at Rose Hill, and it was one of the most impressive performances we've seen. But I'm not too sure about the form and what she beat there. In Flanders came out last week and finished last in its race, in the 2-year-old race last week. And so just not too sure about that form line. And I think I'd rather go with number 2, Osamu here, who is coming off a second first up again behind Filsey, who has since run pretty well in that same race as in Flanders. So Filsey finished ahead of in Flanders. So I know that maybe the margins are a little bit different and whatnot, but for me, Osamu was also rested from midweek racing. It was going to go around on Wednesday, but it's come to this race instead. So I think while I must think it's a decent enough chance, Karen McAvoy on, I think $16 odds is very nice, and I'm going to have it on top ahead of number 9, Salsabill, who, like I mentioned, is probably one of the better 2-year-olds and is one of the favourites right now for the Golden Slipper. But just think $1.45, it's going to get right back in the field. Bit of a risk for me. I'm just not 100% sure on the field that she beat on that occasion, albeit she did it so dominantly. In for third, number 8, Bella Nipotina, I think it's also a nice price here. Finished fourth, first up at Caulfield behind a Beautiful Night and Fresh, like I mentioned earlier with with the form earlier, that I think that's very good form lines. I see those two being the top two in the Phillies Blue Diamond Prelude, so I've got to have it as a good chance. Number 8, Bella Nipotina in for second. And then in for fourth, I'm going to have number 5, Prime Star, who I'm surprised it's 100 to 1, really. I mean, last time out it finished second to Holyfield at Newcastle and second at Gosford at Able Hill. So I know you might look at that and think that's not the greatest bit of form to bring into this, but I think you can get a decent enough run from the wide barrier. And I think maybe it might be able to hold on at the big odds. Yeah, maybe clutching a bit of straws there, but I think it's got a good enough chance for me. But um, on top for me, look, I'm pretty keen with Onosama here at the each way odds. I think it's great value at the $16. Just had number 9 Salisbury, who I've got no knock, but just has to get back in the field and not sure to beat last time. I think $1.45 is just way too short. If you see this horse come out the market, then I could perhaps entertain backing it. In for third, number 8 Bella Nipotina, and in for fourth, number 5 Prime Star. Moving to race number 6 now, and we're looking at the Thoroughbreds Cup, benchmark 78 over 1,600 metres, but it's a pretty nice benchmark 78 as well. Actually, there's a couple of nice types. So look, on the speed map, I'd say Know It All Jack and Ulasaba will dictate the terms, with Coterie not far behind them, and Offshore will be pretty close there as well. But look, I think in this race here, the fact that those two will dominate on speed might make it a little bit difficult for Catlin, who I think is a very good upcoming horse. I think 240 is a bit short. So instead, I've gone with number 7, She's Ideal. I've loved her work recently. She has been so good and so consistent. So I think 370 is a good way to play. And 2 starts on a soft track for 2 wins is the key for me. She's tried on this surface and done and excelled in it. I would like to see Jason Collett be positive out of barrier 1, not get too far back, hopefully. And because there's not a lot of speed in the race, hopefully she can just land us in behind them, and she'll be too good for him if she can do that. With even luck, I think she'll be extremely hard to beat. Number 1, Know It All Jackson is a good each way price here with James McDowell on the saddle. Is a horse that is proven on the wet track. It was decent first up at Randwick on the Kensington track. Was beaten by Craft Tycoon and Feather. Has since come out and won yesterday. And then it came out of Canterbury and won well, holding off its opposition on that occasion to win by 4.3 lengths. It was a very impressive win. Has carried 58.5 here, but I think it's a good each way play, especially a horse that has tried on this soft surface and excelled in it before, and has had one run for third up for 1 win. So I mean, that's, you got to also add a bit more merit to that as well. Look, number 2, Ulasaba, I think is a bit over the odds here as well. I think is proven first up and doesn't mind a soft track, and it could see it get an easy lead. And I liked its recent trial. I think $31 odds is massively over the odds, so I've got it in for third. Number 11, Catlin, who been really impressed with its recent runs. Its last run at Newcastle, $1.45, was very impressive. It was a good win, and prior to that, winning at Warwick Farm in what was a decent enough race, looked to be good. But I just think for me, coming onto the soft track here now, it has been tried on it once before and won, of course, but $2.40 is just a bit too short for me. So recap the numbers. I'm going to play our number 7, She's Ideal, on top, ahead of number 1, Know It All Jack, and number 2, Ulasaba, in for third, second and third respectively, and in for fourth, number 11, the favourite Catlin. Moving to race 7 now, and this is one of the feature meetings of the day. It's the Inglis 3-year-old sprint. Extremely good field as well. Look at the speed maps for this one. Quite a bit of speed in it. I'd say Budwar and Zelong will be on speed, and Turnstile won't be too far off them. Confident might use the inside barrier as well as Rari to get forward in the run, but not a whole lot of speed for a 15-horse field at this stage. And look, it's a very good race, this one. There's a lot of really good chances here, so I'm going to try and work my way through a few little options here in case there's ones that you like to back and I can make a bit of a case for it if I think it's got a good enough chance. Look, True Detective is hard to beat here. I don't like going with the favourites in these big races, but it's definitely got the right form coming to this. So I think last time out behind Pandemic was a good run. Second up here is going to be much improved, and is a horse that's proven on the heavy track, not the soft track, but it's had 2 placings on a heavy track. I think Hugh Bowman in the saddle. I think barrier 6 just looks to be perfect for it, and I think it's going to get a great run in the race. I think it'll be hard to beat. Ahead of number 4, Condos Express, I think is a little bit over the odds here at the $11. This horse that it loves a soft track, 3 starts for a win and 2 placings. Comes here off the back of a 5th at Flemington last time out by Alabama Express, and that form has been pretty good so far. Prior to that, finished by Sartura Splendor at Mooney Valley. And so the form lines around Condos Express haven't been too bad. So I think $11 is a little bit over the odds, so I'm happy to have it in for second. In for third, number 12, Rubasaki, who again, excels on this soft track. It has had 5 starts for 3 wins, 2 placings. Really give it a top chance. Last time out was excellent winning at Flemington, beating Antagonizer. Narrowly held it out on that occasion. And then prior to that, it won at Moonee Valley, of course, being Alberg, who's had some decent enough form as well coming in. So while the form may not be too strong, I do really, really respect the soft track form of Rubisaki. And then in for fourth, number one, a Session, who, if if he can come here and show his best, he will beat this field. It's just that real question on if he can. He had a good enough trial last time out behind Turnstile and Super Oasis at Warwick Farm. Yeah, like I said, if he just shows up here and proves his best, he can really go close to winning this. The biggest tick I have for him is he is a wet tracker. So if there's any time he can do it, it'll be this one. So he's a nice value at $11. So recap the numbers for me. Race number 5, True Detective. Race number 7, sorry. Number 5, True Detective on top, ahead of number 4, Condos Express. In for second, in for third, number 12, Rubisaki. In for fourth, number 1, A Session. Now, I do give a good chance to number 14, Heart of the Oak, who again has had 1 star on a soft track. It was last time out, beating Positive Peace, who has since come out, absolutely flogged them last time out at Kensington. Yes, that was yesterday. If you haven't already done so, go check out that race. So the form is very good for this horse. So $14 odds is way overs. Number 13, Zelong, I give a good chance to. It'll be up on speed, rolling along. If it wasn't a soft track, I wouldn't have that little query. It has had a placing on a soft surface before, and that was at Flemington behind Akari and Betcha Flying. So, I mean, great little form reference there. But for me, just that little bit of a query. I mean, it has been well back to the market, I can see here. So that obviously is a positive for it. But just had a couple more ahead of it for me. But I do give it a good chance. Wouldn't be surprised if it wins. Moving on to race number 8 now, and it's the bonus stud mile. Looking at the speed map here, we get to see Shared Ambition come back to the track. It looks to be a very nice type heading towards the Melbourne Cup or Caulfield Cup this year. Hallelujah Boy and Sir Plush, I'd say, be the 2 leaders. Woo Gok will probably be up there towards the speed as well as attention run as well. Look, for me, I'm very keen to play number 3, Gulwar here. I think it's going to be extremely hard to beat. It's a horse that loves the wet tracks. Had 5 starts on a heavy track for 2 wins and 3 seconds, and 3 starts on a soft track for a win and a placing. And third up stats, 5 starts for 3 wins. So I just think it's building towards a win as well. I mean, its last 2 runs, it's finished 4th and 3rd behind. A third behind Cradle Mountain and Salaman, where it was really charging late, hit the line really well. Prior to that, was beaten by Deep Image and Miss Fabulous in a good race up at Eagle Farm. That was an open handicap race. So I think it's just really suits nicely here, coming in third up on a wet track. I think Gulwar's the one to beat. And at number 5, Shared Ambition, who we know has a lot of talent, comes here first up. The only real concern, like I said, is over 1,600 metres. I would like to see it over a little bit further, which is where we'll get to see it at its best. But I'd say it will still run a good race under Natural Willow, and I've got it in for second. In for third, number 8, Smart Edge, who enjoys his 4th up here and has had 2 placings 4th up, and again loves a soft track. If we get into a heavy range, it has had the 1 go on it and not place, so a little bit of a concern there. But on a soft track, it's had 3 starts for a win and 2 seconds, and I think its form coming in is pretty good. It was very good last time out up at the Gold Coast behind Vega 1 and Redouble. Prior to that, it finished second to Passage of Time. So the form's not too bad around number 8, Smart Edge, and it's enough for me to say that it'll get a place. And then in for 4th, number 2, EastEnder, who came to Chris Wilde with a little bit of a spec of the Tasmanian. And the fact that it's on a soft track could really work in its favour. It's had 7 starts for 4 wins and a placing on a soft track. And my only concern is first up, it's 5 starts for just the 1 place. So I could perhaps see it running a good race, but I don't think it's a winning chance. So it could definitely entertain a place chance. So I'll be watching for it second up, where it's got much better stats. But recap the numbers for me. Number 3, Gulwar's the one to beat, ahead of number 5, Shared Ambition in for second. In for third, number 8, Smart Edge, and then for 4th, number 2, EastEnder. Moving on to race number 9, it's the final race of the card, 1,000 metres, Yarraman Park Stud Sprint over benchmark 94 race. Look at the speed map here. I'd say Gold Finch will find the top with Jungleized, and Royal Witness will make its way across. Baller usually is close to the speed. Ashlaw, the Victorian Visitor, will be close enough as well. Look, for me, I'm very keen to play number 5, Baller here, who gets a big drop in class, comes out of race behind Speeding to Win and Glenall last time out. It hasn't been in form as of late, and that's a little bit of a concern. But if it can find its form that we saw last preparation in the spring, it'll be winning this race. I think $7.50 is a really nice price. Comes back onto a soft tracker that has had a win on before, so perhaps that might be the difference for this horse coming, just getting that bit of a sting out of the ground. So I'm going to have it on top. Out of number 4, Coruscate, who comes into this first up, has had 3 really good trials leading into this, have been very impressive. Has very much proven on the wet conditions. And his first up stats are excellent. 4 starts for 2 wins and a place in a second. So very major player. Number 4, Coruscate for second. And for third, number 2, God of Thunder, who again is proven on the wet track and comes into this off the back of a 900-metre Rose Hill trial win where it beat Glenall. So it's pretty good form. Prior to that, finished second to Miss Leonidas at Caulfield over 1,000 metres. That was back in October. So resumes here. God of Thunder. I just think $2.45 is a little bit short for it. But I still think it's got a great chance to run a good race. And then in for fourth, for me, number 3, Tanico, who is another horse that loves the soft track. 4 starts for 3 wins and a placing. Definitely give it a good each way push as well. Comes into this fourth up, which has had 3 starts for 2 wins as well. And map-wise, it looks to get a really good run in the race as well. So I really could entertain a few in this. I've landed with Baller just because I think its best effort can beat these. Coruscate's got that great first up stats and really good trial form leading in. So I've got him for second. In for third, number 2, God of Thunder. And in for fourth, Tanico. I can see running a very good race on the soft track. So that's my Warwick Farm racing tips and preview of every single race. So look at the best bets for the day. Look, number 3, Stellar Seasun, and race number 1 at the 225. I think it's going to be extremely hard to beat. So I'm going to have her as one of my best bets. So that's race number 1, number 3, Stellar Seasun. And then my other best bet for me, looking just through the card now. Race number 6, number 7, She's Ideal. I think she's in great form and she'll really excel on the wet track here once again. And I think she's really hard to beat. I think 370 is a great price. So that's race number 6. Number 7, She's Ideal. Best each way plays for me. Race number 8. I'm pretty keen with. Oh, sorry, not race number 8. The final race of the card, number 5, Baller, is one of my best each way plays at the $7.50 and $2.30 the place. I think it's got a good chance there. And in race number 4, I know it's not a huge value, but number 6, Ticket to Ride at the $4.50. I think it'll be running a good race. I think $1.75 is a good play as well. So that's my Warwick Farm preview and my tips. If you haven't already done so, go check out part 1. Apologies for the little split there. Not sure what happened in recording that. I just saw it decided to cut out on me, so apologies for that. If you haven't already done so, go check out my Caulfield meeting as well as we look forward to the Blue Diamond in 2 weeks. So thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support. If you haven't already done so, go check out my social media pages as well for all my racing tips on Saturdays, but also during the week as well. So good luck if you're playing on Saturday. Enjoy the cracking racing that we've got ahead. Hopefully we find plenty of winners.